Hi guys, Isha this side and I hope you all are doing really well. Today I am talking about DAX Query View. So just like in SQL Server, we can write complex query, review it at each step, view its output and tweak it if required. Likewise, we can do in Power BI Desktop with the help of DAX Query View. And there are few other functionalities available. So let's explore some of those today. So this is my Power BI Desktop page. And if you see here towards the left side of the page, the fourth option is DAX Query View, and this is how it looks like. In case this feature is not enabled at your end, you can always go to File, go to Options and Settings, again Options, and somewhere under the Preview Features here, you will view the option of enabling your DAX Query View. Check that box and then you will be able to see this DAX Query View page. Towards the right side, I can see all my tables, and let me briefly explain you about the tables that I'll be working with today. I have three tables: product, sales, customer. So customer ID is the common column between sales and customers table. The relationship of one to many correctly established. Likewise, product ID is the common column between products and sales table. Sales table has 4-5 columns: customer ID, date, product ID, and so on and so forth. Since it also has date, so let's create calendar table. We can easily create calendar table from here. Let me name it as calendar table is equal to, using the function of calendar, asking for start date. My data is pertaining mainly to year 2025, so I'll create the calendar table for year 2025 only. Drag it here and I'll establish a relationship between date column of calendar table with date column of sales table. The Power BI has correctly identified the relationship. I'll save it. That is relationship of one to many. Going back to DAX Query View, my tables are appearing here, even the calendar table. So if we see, there are 3 dotted lines appearing against each table. Let's see what all options we get here. So the first one is quick queries. Then there are few other options appearing here. Show top 100 rows. Let's click here. So if we see, Power BI has automatically created a query, executed it. Down below, it's showing the results. But if we see here, they are just 15 rows and not the 100 rows, whereas the query is for 100 rows. This is happening because if we go to the products table, there are only 15 product IDs across these 3-4 categories. So that is why this DAX Query View is showing us only 15 rows. We can always tweak the queries as per our requirements. Say I just want top 5 rows and I don't require product name in my output, so I can tweak this query and execute it, and now the results are as per my requirements. Also, if you have noticed, the new tab has been opened up where this query is executed, so we can open as many tabs as required. Let's explore few other options. So if I go to sales table, quick queries, it shows show column starts. The query is giving us a brief snapshot of all the columns and its related stats in the table, like the count, distinct values, any null values in the columns, min value, max value, so on and so forth. So you can go ahead and explore this. Also, if you see, there are few options which are currently grayed out, like define the measures in the table, all the measures in the model. Currently, we have not created any measure in our model. That is why these are grayed out. I'll create a measure and then we'll come back to this option again. Then going to my report view, creating a very basic measure in sales table, which is total sales in sum of sales amount. This is my total sales amount. Going back to sales table in the DAX query page, we can see these options are now available for selection. So say define all measures in the table. What's happening is it's defining the measure we created and how it has been evaluated at Power BI, and this is how this is showing up. The result is this. We can easily have quick snapshots of our data sets with features like these, where you can define and evaluate your measures, tweak your queries, break your complex queries into each step and view their output. This comes very handy in case of analyzing very exhaustive data sets. There are many other options also which you can explore. Let's see another example wherein I'll write a complex query and view the output in each step. Assuming I want to calculate month-on-month variance for each category. This is my sales table which has 2000 rows of data, and if I go to products table, these are all the categories that I have, books choice, and I want to see month-on-month variance. In my calendar table, I just have a date. I'll first change the data type to date only and add few columns of year and month to calculate my month-on-month variance. So I'll quickly go to add column, new column, which is year equal to year from date column. Since I am writing date column, so I'll give it in square bracket. The tool is intelligent enough to detect that I am giving the date column reference of calendar table and not the sales table. I'll create another column for month. Again month and date column. I'll be calculating month-on-month variance basis product category. But this query will be executed in 2-3 steps. So let's explore how we can write this query, review it at each step and tweak it if required. So the first keyword I need to give is evaluate. Let me start with summarize columns. The first column name is product category. The second would be filter table name. I'll give year, then calendar month, then name of the column which will be current sales. I can either write sum of sales amount or I can also say total sales, which is the measure I have calculated. Close the bracket. If I click here format, so if you see, it has standardized the format of this query. Now let me run it, and this is the result I am getting. So in each step I can easily review my output. Calculating the month-on-month variance, I'll give add column. The first thing it's asking for is the table, which will be calculated by a summarize column. It's asking for name 1 for second column, which would be previous month sales, and expression would be calculate. Then expression would be sum of sales. I'll use date add function here to calculate the previous month sales. This is the query I've written to calculate month-on-month variance across different product categories. Before this, I can always format it, and now I'll run it. This is how my output looks like. I have year, month, then sales, previous month sales, and the variance. If you see, there is an option of copy. I can select the entire table or selected cells. Say I have copied the entire table, I can go ahead and paste it in Excel, or else I can come here, create a new table, entering the new data, and I can easily paste here. Since I know that this query works fine, so I can always copy this query, removing the evaluate, going here, creating a new table and writing my query here, executing it, and if you see, the new table will be created here. So if I see the data of this table, this is how it looks like. I can perform further operations on these tables, like if I want to add a new column where I want to calculate the variance percentage, then I can do so, say by using the formula of divide. Numerator would sales variance, denominator say previous month sales column, and take 0 in column. This I can create it into percentage values. These are couple of ways I've explained you can use this feature. There are many other which you can let me know in comments. I hope you guys find this video useful. Thank you for watching and have a great day. Bye.